Hi all, good evening guys, and we are going to discuss about the Perl programming course content, and also we'll take up some demo sessions by taking up any one of the topics. Let's move on. Starting about myself, like I will be conducting this training called Perl Programming Training, and I myself I'm having overall 15 plus years of experience in working with the different companies in IT industries. And later, then I started delivering the training, and I became a trainer. So for past 5 plus years, I'm delivering the training on these technologies like Perl, Python, and shell scripting. So I deliver the training for corporates, also for some college graduates and for individuals. So I have an experience in delivering the training for freshers and mid-level and also for experienced people. So all sort of experience that I'm having it, and throughout this training session, I'll be your instructor, and we will be having the complete detailed discussion about the Perl programming the course content. I hope you might have seen that. If not, no problem. I will be explaining you what are the topics that we'll be covering that. So with that, you will understand okay what we are going to learn in the rest of this. Okay, and the way of training that what I always wish to deliver is it's a interactive session. Like I'll be asking the questions then and there. Like you'll be given an assignments during the session also, and later when you can take the assignment after the session, you can work at your home and you can complete it. In case if you have any queries, you can definitely come and ask in the next session. So we'll show you how do you solve those issues or what is the issue you are facing. We'll rectify those issues because eh, theoretically if you learn it, then you may able to understand, but later point of time you may not able to recall anything. So that's the reason we trust that okay by doing the hands-on more time spending on the hands-on will make everyone to be an expert in technology, be it any technologies. But Perl is also one of the technology that we proven that okay when candidate is working along with us, they are becoming a master in Perl and they able to crack any sort of requirement or any kind of interviews. It's all happens. Okay. Now coming to the demo, I mean now we are going to discuss about subroutine. Subroutine is one of the main features that is available in Python or Perl or any technology. Like Perl we call it as a subroutine. In Java and C or Python in other technology we call it as a functions or definitions. Yes. Subroutine is nothing but it's a function. Then we will see how do we create a function or subroutine in Perl programming, and how do you call the function, and how do you get the result back from the function, and what is the scope of the variable like inside the function and outside the function. All those things we are going to discuss as part of this demo sessions. Okay. Now the course content, as such I said, like if you have already course content with you, it's well and good. If not, no problem, it is there in our website. You can go and download anytime, it will be available. And so look, in my as mentioned in my PPT, we are going to deliver the training on Perl with including these content guys. The first one is we'll start with introduction, like what is Perl and why Perl and how Perl is being used in the market. So since I have a real-time experience in working with multiple projects, so I can able to clearly explain you with aligned with the corporate needs. So if you have clear understanding on all those things, then you are good in Perl. Then you can able to crack any sort of interviews or any kind of requirement. You can very well do that. Okay. So we'll be discussing about the data type. First starts with introduction. Then we'll go with some installation of the Perl softwares. Like since we are learning from our own system, like we can install the strawberry versions or different version is available. Or if it is a corporate, well and good, you can use your local dev environment. We can understand how to write a program in the Perl program. So apart from that, we'll start with the scalar data type. So there are multiple functions associated with scalar type. So we'll be discussing each and everything by writing the code in front of you all. And we'll start with flow control, like conditional statement and looping. Both will be comes under flow control. Conditional statement as such is a if condition and all those in case also switch and case. And flow looping are like a for each loop and while loop, those and all we'll be discussing under flow control loop. Then array is like a collections of multiple elements or sequence of elements, we call it as an array. So we can store one value or one value as a scalar, but multiple value if you want to store, we don't want to create a multiple variable, we'll go ahead with an array. And hashes is nothing but associative array, or some technology we call it as a hash map and hash or dictionary or array. All those things, everything is same, associative array. Then subroutine, as I said, it is a functions in Perl programming. We'll be discussing how do you create a function, how do you call the function, how do you call one function being part of the other function, what is the scope of variable when you exchange the value from one function to other functions. So all those things will be discussed by writing some examples and some code of it. And regular expression. Perl is mean for regular expression, guys. So Perl is being still being successful technology, and it's unavoidable technology. Though Perl is there in the market since very long, but as I said in the beginning, Perl is being used by a lot of business like banking, insurance, retail, and even the manufacturing. Everybody they are using Perl technology. The reason began is Perl has a exponential powerful regular expression engine. Okay, the name of the Perl itself is nothing but practical extraction and report language. The first character of each and every word, practical extraction and reporting language. So Perl is designed to generate the report. Perl was a technology which was initially developed to generate some report based out of data. Okay, it's meant for the data, or the data technology, we can say that. Okay, so regular expression is one of the very key features that is available in the Perl, that we'll be discussing about all the options, and we will be seeing a lot of meta characters and meta sequence and how do you execute the Perl rejects operations. Everything we'll be discussing that. Then some of the user defined function, like how do you reuse the function that we have defined, and file operations, obviously. How do you handle the file with, how do you read the file, write the file, append the file, and how do you handle the special files like JSON file or XML files. Nowadays everything, when you make the application to talk to each other, the data are being exchanged as is JSON file format. Okay, so we also discuss, okay, how do you handle this JSON file format, CSV file format, XML file format, Excel file format, normal text file format. Everything will be discussed, guys. And coming to the package and modules, it's all comes under object-oriented programming language. Perl also supports object-oriented programming language. We'll be discussing how do you create a package. So we call, in other technology we say classes, right? Here instead of class we call it as a package. Here we'll have a constructor method, and we can initiate the we can create the object. Through the object we can get the method from the function get called. Lot of things, all the object oriented programming like abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, everything will be discussed. Then database operations. So Perl provides a very easy way of handling database operation with the help of the library called DBI library. Okay, so that and all we'll be discussing that. And these two, yes, database operation and object oriented Perl programming is what we'll be discussing in the additional exercise also. But everything will go with examples and exercise. But here we will focus more because it is widely used topics in the IT industry. And guys, and as of the course, like we'll be teaching you the Perl with the content that we have shown before. At same time, we'll share you the presentation also. So that will be helpful for your future reference. So after we complete the session, like if you want to refresh like what and all has been discussed, that PPT will be definitely helpful because it will walk through you the complete topics and with some hint which make you to recollect all the discussion that we had. So that PPT will be sharing you. And in case like if you are a professional who is looking for a job, like we support you, how do you build a profile with the Perl technologies, so to get it picked up in the market by most of the companies. There are a lot of tricks and way to make your profile comes on top when they search in the search portal, job search portal. Those kind of support we definitely do that. And we have seen that, okay, a lot of people who took a training from us, they got plenty of calls. Though market situation is good or not, they get plenty of calls because on need basis, if they want to come and look at the people in the market, they need some profile to take for interviewing them, right? So your profile would be one among the top 5 profiles. So you'll be getting multiple opportunities to attend the interview and get a multiple jobs. So there are a lot of people who has proven that they got plenty of offers. It's not like one offer or two offer. Some people got 5+ offers also. So there are market is open for all the opportunities. So you will be able to if you concentrate the session from day one to till end, you can very sure that you will be able to get into the job with by putting some effort. So we will be providing the 100% of the effort from our side. If you put some 70 to 80% from your side, that's no doubt that you can able to crack any sort of interviews. So for that, with that, we also provide you some additional project kind of stuffs, not only small exercise and examples. We provide out two projects as part of this course. The first one is the as I said, Perl is designed for reporting purpose. So we should know how do I generate the report, how do I process the file, how do I take the needed information out of the file, and in what is the format that we want, how do I take only the right data from the file. So these everything will be covered as part of the project number one called customer transaction data text mining operation. So text mining operation is one of the very important operation, or is been used by many company with the help of Perl programming. So we will be doing that project with by implementing text mining operations. And the second project comes under, we will show you how do you create a one small tool, or you can say tool or program which work as like say ATM. Like in ATM, if you go, you can either withdraw the money or deposit the money, or you check your balance and you can get the mini statement. Also, you can apply for the loan. Lot of stuff we can do that, right? But we will be seeing that how do I create a program by using the Perl programming. So these two, when you complete these two projects, you can get our support. Like we will be available to support you whenever you have a doubt. But when you complete these two projects, you will have a good confidence to take up the interview case. So that is all about the project. And lab setup, like you should have a very good internet, because you should not get disturbed when we are discussing something. If your connection got disturbed, then you may not able to follow very properly. But one and all times is okay. One or two times, if the power got shut down or something had happened, oh, that's okay. But if it is happened very frequently, it may not help you to learn end to end topics. So what we recommend you to have is have a good internet, good speed of internet, and a good system with minimum of 8 GB, is 8 GB or 16 GB, whatever it is. 8 GB itself enough, but 16 GB is also go very good. And coming to this, as I said, like we support you in resume building, and also as such we have a experience in interviewing the people. So once you are ready with the preparation, maybe by before the last day of the class, we will spend some half an hour to 1 hour time with you all individually to conduct the interview. Like how it will be the similar to the how you are going to face the interview at the market from the corporate. The similar way of interview we do that, and we will suggest you, okay, what was your performance, everything went well or not, or if not, where do you want to improve. So everything that we can able to recommend you to put more effort on the respective topics. And certifications, as it's Perl programming, like nowadays there are some technologies which mean for certification, like cloud certification if you go, or DevOps certification if you go. There is a meaning for certification. As such, Perl or Python and shell script and big data. Big data, Cloudera provides some certification, and machine learning also we have Cloudera or Azure certification. But certification, I don't believe that certification will uh, help you to get into the job. No, it may help you to attend the interview, but we are doing that with a different way by building the quality of profile. But certification only if you submit it, if you get a job, no. You have to present yourself. You have to answer for all the questions in a way that you like. How do you handle the scenario by putting a lot of approaches? A lot of stuffs we need to do. Certification, don't worry, guys. As such, I have 15+ years of experience. I never had certification, but I know multiple technologies. But I'm delivering the training on these three. But apart from that, I worked in the other technology also. But I did not get a certification done in anything. But if you have a passion of doing the certification, you can crack online and you can register for any certification and you can take that. But as such, I say, without certification, can I get job? Yes. With certification, can I get the job? we cannot guarantee, right? Until unless you are answering all the questions that is put upon you with the interviewer, you cannot get a job. Okay, only when you answer all the questions, you will able to clear, no matter whether you have the certification or not. But still, if you are very interested or keen to get the certification, we recommend you to go for certification. By taking up some test in online, we'll show you this, which are the sites they are providing the certifications. And guys, this is the course completion certification from the MindMajix, so that you can have it. So this is nothing but like, as I said, right? If internal project, if you want to switch over, this might help you. How does it helps for me to switch over the project? So you are working in other technology, and tomorrow you are seeing that, okay, you are foreseeing that there is a project that's going to come in Perl technology. But if you want to learn Perl, and if you want to work in the Perl to become an expertise, you can very well show it to your management, saying that, hey, I completed my Perl programming with MindMajix. Then they will value the certification, and they will assign you into the Perl project that's going to come. Okay, so that's all about the content. Now I would like to start discussing about what is subroutine, and how do you create a subroutine, and how do you call the subroutine. Okay, as I said, subroutine is nothing but it is a function, right? So what is function mean? Function is a piece of code which can be used or called again and again. If I want to do certain operations in multiple places, rather I write the same part of code in multiple places. What I can do, I can get it created as a one subroutine. Then wherever I want this operation to be executed, I'll just call this subroutine from there. That's it. So because of that, we can easily perform the maintainability, which means if you want to make any changes in the subroutine tomorrow or in the future, we don't want to go and make the changes in all the places, right? So wherever the function is created or subroutine is created, by making the changes in that places, the changes will be reflected in all the places from where it gets called. Another one is code redundancy is avoided, because if I want to write a 10 lines of code in 10 places, I have to write same 10 code in 10 places, so it will be 100 lines needed. No, it's not needed at all, right? I will create a one function. Within that function or subroutine, within that I'll put this 10 lines of code. From all other 9 places, I'll just call this function with its name. Just one line I'll put, instead of uh, writing the 10 lines in all 9 places, so of 90 lines. What I will be doing, that I will be keeping only the subroutine name to call the subroutine. So 99 line will become 9 lines only. The sort of advantages is there with subroutine. So subroutine is used for maintainability and modularity, and also the code redundancy can be avoided, and easily we can understand lot of things we have, guys, in Perl programming. Okay, let's start with what is subroutine and how do you create a subroutine. Subroutine we need to create with the keyword called svb. Okay, svb is mean for subroutine. In the short we say sub, and say add number. Add number. Let's say some small method, sorry, subroutine I'll create. Now, see here the argument you have to give. Either you can give or you can make it as option also. If you give also, it accepts. For example, if I'm going to pass two number, the number should be specified by dollar. Dollar nothing but it is representation of the scalar values. Either you can give like this, or what you can do, you can go without giving also. There is no difference. I'll tell you why is that. Now, see, anything that you are going to create within this curly braces are going to be a part of this subroutine. This is the subroutine I created. I named it as a add number, and what I want to do, I want to, when user is calling me with some number, maybe two number, I want to perform some of those two number, and I need to return the result. So that is what this function is going to do. Uh, then okay, how do I collect the value that is being passed by the user? Say, let's say here I'm doing some statements, some program I'm writing it, right? Let's say, coming down, I am going to call this subroutine. So let's say call it odd number, and I want to call with 10 comma 20. Okay, let's print the value also directly by using the print statement, print function. Okay, print add number 10 comma 20. So what I need to do, I have to collect these two values. By default, whenever we call the subroutine in Perl programming, by default all the value will be stored by at the rate. underscore array. The array name called @_ so this @_ array will collect all the value, be it one value, two value, or 100 or 1000, any number of values, no matters. Everything will be collected in the special array called @_. Then we can read the value from this array. So how do I read it? Let's say I'll say number one is a scalar value. So I'm keeping with starting with dollar number one. See, if you want to read one value from the array, so what you can do, it will give us a scalar value. Okay, now let's say @_ of 0. Sorry. Okay guys, so this is what I have to replace with $_0. The reason is why when you are going to refer only one value, it will become dollar, but you are reading from the array is @_. Let's say this, and the second number is say dollar number two. So we are passing two value, so @_1. The it value are stored in the array are index based. So you go with 0 and 1 in reading way. Then finally what you want to do, you want to sum up those two value, get the result as stored result equal to $num1 plus $num2, and you return the value. So whenever the function meet the return statement, which means what, this function will be I mean you the operation will come out of the function, the value will be returned, then you will be coming out of the function. Any line that you write next to the return will never get executed. Return would be the last value that you should have it in your function. Okay, you can define the value. Since we are using the variable, you can define that dollar result equal to initially I assigned with 0. Then I perform the addition of number one, number two. Sum of this value, I am going to return it. Okay, if you call this function, what happened? The function will get executed. So you will get the result as 30. So this is the one way of calling the function with two numbers. Now let's say, how can I? So I am not sure how many number is user going to pass, but I want to create a function to sum all the value that user pass. So how do I do that? It's very simple. So I write one more function called sub sum all. I'll just put this name and I write a function. See, since they are passing multiple value, if I know they are going to pass only two value, then I can take into the two variable. Since they are going to pass into the multiple values, so I cannot assure that how many values they are going to pass, right? So I'll just take everything in the name of array, @ of ARR, I'll put @_. Everything is assigned in the array. Now I'll just create one variable called sum is equal to 0. Then I'll say for each $element of this @ of array. Then what I do, for each and every value I can put $sum is equal to $sum initially 0 plus $element. What if user is passing five values? First it will be 0, sum is 0. Then first value will be added with 0. Say 1 2 3 4 5 they are passing. So initially it is 0. Then when it come through the for each loop, 0 plus 1. Then second time 0 plus is 1. Then second value is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then next value is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. The next value is 4. Then finally I'll get 5. So the result I'll get 15. So 15 is stored in the variable called sum. Then which I can return this value to the user who calls this function. I'm just collecting the any number of value from the user. I'm by using the for each loop, I'm iterating each and every value that is being passed by the user, and I get it added incrementally. Finally I'm returning the values. Let's run any one of these program. Let's say uh say what's that? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's call this function sum all, and I'm going to pass a array of say 10, 20, some numbers. Say I want to call this. Let's copy and paste. See, we will be going through with the installation. This is a special system, not for the Perl programming. So I have the online editor is available. So let me copy and paste and run this code. So I have not made any changes. Whatever I have written there, I'm going to execute and show you that you'll be getting sum of all this value. Okay, this one is not needed. Let's run this now. Okay, where you have sum, okay, sum all is the one sentence. What's happening? Zero you are assigning and you are returning the sum. It's all good. Dollar element and dollar element you are doing that. You are printing sum all of all the values that you are passing 10 comma 20. Okay, what it says, line number 14. Okay, is there anywhere that we did not pass, or did I choose it's a pearl? Okay, on right, I'll just fix this out. Too many arguments for main. Okay, sum all, that's okay. I want to pass multiple argument, that is what I want. See, everywhere is semicolon is there, everything is there. Let's run with two value, should not be an issue. Let's try with this. Okay, let's take the other one program and see how does it run. It should run, but there's no syntax or semantic issue. But I'll, since it is online, I am not able to assure that okay everything goes well. I think this website, sorry, this R number in the capital letter, line number 20. Where I have line number 20. 10 comma 20. Okay, too many arguments. Well, okay, there is some issue, guys. Let me take the other one. For now, I'm just going to online Perl executor, but you will not go with online in our session. We have this session where we have installed. Okay, here is it the same? Okay, it's the same website. Okay. Okay, I'll keep the code here. Whatever I put, right? This one. Let's run this program. Not this one, sorry. The one quotes I need to take because Perl does not look for the parenthesis within the function. What I do, I'll just create this as array. Let's say dollar in values, sorry, at the rate values. I'm just creating this as an array and I'm passing this array. Okay, guys, this online editor leave it, but this is how that we will create a subroutines in Perl. Then we call the subroutine. So subroutine should be created before we call it. If you try to call the subroutine which is not there, then we will end up with an error, guys. Okay, so that's all with this demo. But all the times, all the topics that we are discussing, we'll be writing a code in front of you all, and we will get it executed. But since the ID is not working, I mean that we are having some challenges. Okay, no worries. But we'll install the Strawberry version of the Perl program. If you go for Strawberry, Perl Strawberry, put download. See, you can just download. If it is a Windows operating system, you can go for Windows. If any one of you using the Mac system, you can go for Mac and you can download it. See, based on the system operating system version. If your system is the 64-bit, nowadays is all 64-bit, you can download this. Okay, this, so once we install this, we'll tell you how to install this also. Once you install, we can write program in the Perl compiler itself, then we can execute everything, everything will go smooth. Okay, so that's all with this demo. So thank you guys for attending the demo. I request all of you to share your feedback and contact us in case of any queries. And if you want to know something more about this course content and the way, the schedule and the timings, you can reach out very well through email or the phone number. So the email is info at the rate of mindmajix.com, and phone number is people from India, they can use the first number, and people from USA, they can use the second number. So anytime you can either write a mail or you can call us. We can very well support you, and we can make a call connected with the respective technology expertise, from whom you will get a complete end-to-end information, guys. Okay, okay, guys. So please, if you have any queries, you can definitely reach out. We'll support you on that. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.